Good morning everyone, this is Carrie with Garden Mess, and today I'm going to be planting up some Gerber daisies. Isn't that just so bright and cheery? I have a few spots in my yard that need a pop of color, and Gerber daisies are definitely a good pop of color. So here's where I plan to put this yellow Gerber daisy. Now I gotta cut some of these little blooms off. They did dry out a little bit, and so some of these blooms are toast. But I will cut those off and then I'll get it planted. And then I have a couple other little spots that need a little pop of color. I'm gonna plant one here. I don't have anything with this bright magenta pink color. I'm gonna plant one right here where there's a little bald spot, no color there as well. I do have some variegated ice plant, and it does have a red coloring to it, but this Gerber, as it ages, will have more of a coral orange color to it. So I think that they will complement each other. And for sure, it looks really good with that foliage right there. So that one is going there, and then I have a pink one. And since some bug or critter ate my petunias that I had planted, and you see two of them there nibbled down to nothing, I'm going to be planting this pink variety, pink color Gerber. That's the pink. Again, the petals all fell off, and I left this one so I remembered what color it was. So I'll get this in the ground, but this pink is very similar to that pink, and so since those are probably not going to come back up, I thought the Gerber daisy would look really good in front of the Dusty Miller. Later today I'm going to be putting this lantana. It's an annual lantana, although I believe that I did overwinter mine in the front by keeping them really covered very well. But I'm going to put this lantana in this container later today or tomorrow, and then I'll have some other plants too to go with it. But I do need to start getting my planters planted up. It's about that time. And then, this is so funny, but this plant, which is it's a dianthus, you see how all the flowers are going this direction to the sun? Yesterday, they were going that direction. I'm a little perplexed. I didn't turn it, but now I will today turn the pot to where they're facing out this way. I don't know why they're going that way. That is east, but most of the sun comes from this direction for most of the day, because see, I have a fence back there which blocks a lot, and then I have this persimmon tree that blocks some of the sun. So for that to be facing and everything angling that way is just strange. Maybe a wind came in and did it. But anyway, I will correct that, turn that pot so it's facing me. Okay, here we are, ready to get this planted. But first, let's cut these blooms that dried up. Let's cut them off, trace it all the way down to the base, and snip them off. I did that. I let them dry out, and that's why they're suffering so, why they don't look as good. Let's get these leaves too. Clean it up as much as possible. Okay. All right, let me put that to the side real quick. I'm going to trim this off. This one little branch is just a little spreading a little too far over, so I'm going to snip it because I want to be able to see my Gerber Daisy. So let's see, this, is this all? No, it's two of them. Okay, so there's nothing growing on this stem all the way back there, so I'm just going to take the whole thing off. It's only growing on the tip. See that? Oh, already that's lightened it up. And I will, let's see. I don't want to leave a big bare spot, so let me take it back to this little branch. And what about you? Now, if I let this stay, let me bring my camera over so you can see. This is a double played doozy spirea. So if I let this stay laying on the ground like that, it will root. So I have been trying to keep them up off the ground because I don't want any more in this location. Now, if it does root and I do find it rooted, I will pull it up and put it in a pot. I think everyone, well, not everyone, but I think a lot of you are the same way. You just can't toss a cute little plant. So we all want to save them. Anyway, so I'll save them, give them away, or plant them somewhere else in my yard. Okay, let's take this one back all the way to there. Now, is that a, it sure is. There's a landscape light. I don't know if you can see that, but that's how much this shrub has grown outward. So I'm going to pull that up and move it over here to the side. Okay, something is coming back from the root. And I think it might be a daisy of some sort. This definitely is not, oh, coming back. Whatever that was. I think it was an annual. I'll pull that, dig that out in a second. Pull this grass. I have to come back and do my edging with my half moon grass edger. And then I'll pull all this up and make it clean. Ooh, that's trash. No, no. Well, that plastic went down. Oh, I can't do it with gloves. Gloves are not very conducive to fine motor skills with your fingertips. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Okie dokie, where'd my little shovel go? Let me rake these leaves back. All right, so the soil, because I had a mole, some of the soil has dropped pretty low. So I'm going to add a little bit of soil back in just to bring some of the height back up. Oh, good. It's not too difficult to dig in, and it will break apart, so it's not too moist. I think I'm hitting a rock down there. I think that's what's making that noise. Yep. But it can stay in there. I don't mind it. Okay, let's add some. There's some peat humus in this mix and some compost in it. And I'm just adding a little into the soil. because it looks like the Asian jumping worms have eaten most of the organic material that was in the soil. So it kind of leaves it lacking in the nutrients. That's what they do. And so we have to, whenever I plant, I have to put organic material back in for the plant. Again, because the Asian jumping worm can deplete the soil of all the good nutrients that the plant needs. And that's how you adapt and survive with the Asian jumping worms. And if you see them, you put them in a bottle, put them in a plastic bag, something they can't escape from, and then you put it out there in the sun, or even if it's not in the sun, they'll die within a day or two, and they'll dry up and die. And then you can toss them in the trash. Do not think that cutting them in two, they can regenerate. That is definitely not something you want to do. Okay, I'm putting a little biotone fertilizer in there just for the roots. And I will put a slow release plant food around this as well. We have one new little bud coming. Gerber daisies are pretty forgiving when you let them dry out. But I still felt very guilty about it. Just want to get some of them facing downward. Okay, there we go. I want them facing out. And that one flower's almost gone, so. There is some cow manure in this mix too. I just mix some things together. So I take compost, some cow manure, some not ooh, that just broke. So cow manure, mulch, and some humus. And I mix that together, and that's what I add to the soil, especially for annuals. I put the cow manure in. Anything that I need to have food right away and be fertilized. Okay, just a little bit of that. This is almost gone, so I guess it's okay that the lid broke. And this is MicroLife Multi-Purpose 624. And I like it. I get it from my local nursery. Okay, that one looks good. Water that in, and we're good to go. Okay. And then we'll put the compost, not the compost, we'll put the mulch over that. Now I know I'm not in these frames, but I'm trying to show you the planting of these flowers, these little Gerber daisies. Gerber daisies grow about 10 inches high and 12 inches wide. And again, in my area, they are annuals, full sun, and they do well as long as they have consistent moisture. Again, if they do dry out a little bit, you are okay. They will forgive you a little, but don't let them be dried out for several days. They will not recuperate very well. Again, I'm going to continue planting on some of these Gerber not Gerber babies, Gerber daisies. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. I did give it some food and some biotone. This is the one that only has one little flower trying to bud. Oops. This soil over here is a little bit more compacted because I did expand my flower bed some. So this area that this Gerber daisy is in used to be grass, but you see I've moved the rocks, and I had to move my sprinkler head for the lawn. Anyway, I think it's going to be very happy here. I've got to get to work, so I've got to call it a day. Well, everyone, that's it for today. I have to get to work now, so my time in the garden is over for the day. Maybe later this evening I'll be able to get back out here and check on these Gerber daisies. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now. Oh, I almost forgot to get my spirea cuttings and get them rooted. Better get those in water.